Marooned on Triton.
Hello Internet and welcome back to more Marooned on Triton. So, this week, the drilling episode. You've already gotten a sneak peek of some heavy drilling action. There's even more probably in store, assuming nothing goes horrifically wrong trying to get there. Oh, gosh, how long was I out? Those drills just kind of lulled me to sleep. Conked out as soon as I got back. Must have built this in my sleep too. What is that? Must be maybe some wind from outside cycling through. Anyway, how long have I been out? What's the drills? Ooh. The drills might be done. Yeah, look at that. That's 2 full distances. Maybe let's turn these off. Yeah, okay. Great. We don't have to worry about that part. How far? So, well, changes depending on where you are, but so we're almost 175 meters from the sort of entrance, at least from where the entrance is marked. Do I want to go deeper? Maybe let's do another GPS test. So this one was like 40 meters below. If I do one here, it's not that much further. But let's see how deep we are. Okay, maybe the other one was not 40 meters. And or we've only, no, hold on. Are you... Okay, I think that's dead below us. So... 43 meters? Here at this end? I don't know. I mean, what's gonna get me that far down anyway? That's like 20 people tall. I think we're good. That'll be the distance. Maybe how I do the sort of more permanent base structure I could kind of drill out a side over here, and maybe a side over there for parking. And then the base, I just make sure, maybe like from here, it goes that way and down, so I don't risk coming up into the above. I think that sounds reasonable. Okay. So I guess I should start maybe working on a... I wonder if I could do both sides at once. That might get interesting. Maybe we just do one side at a time. We should start working on that. What is our battery looking like? Ew. Well, it says depleted in 20 days, but it's not... Oh. Maybe get rid of this thing. Okay. 12 hours of power. Not bad, but that's also when we aren't doing anything. So I think we need some more hydrogen as step one. Yeah. Now, guess we'll just go ahead and get loaded. Is that... Can't remember if that's where it was when I unloaded. So let's maybe... Get a... Ooh. Okay. It's probably better. How much power? Ooh. This thing only has 2 hours, and it looks like one of my back batteries is already out. And we'll have to figure out a fix for that as well. Okay. It'd be nice to get all these on one hotbar. Maybe I... Whoops. Lock. And maybe I look into that in the future. Ooh. Look at it twist. Oh. It's the fact that everything bounces, I think, that makes it so disconcerting. Because really, I mean, functionally, nothing happening here is all that odd. I guess it's somewhat odd. Oh, and I've not done this super well because it's not far enough back to lock onto the deck. Well, that should be a fairly easy fix. Yeah, if it were, Oh. I don't know. Oop. That was the wrong way to do that. Okay. Well, here's an idea. If I reverse this, can I kind of push it back up flat and drive under it? Or will it pull itself off the deck? Oh, it's pulling. Oh, right, I don't have a way to stop it. It just stops itself. Okay. Now, will it stay put? Yes, it will. Not quite how it was intended to be loaded, but... Oh, it is sliding a bit, though. Okay. Crane. Let's extend that out and kind of reattach it in a better position. Ideally before it travels its own way. Goodness. Actually, look, it's coming back. Just need it to work itself a little left. Can I kind of nudge it? Maybe not like that. This seems dangerous. Good thing I'm a trained professional. Okay. Oh, crud. Part of the issue is because the magnetic pad is not quite... It's not level. It's getting hooked. Oh, oh. Oh, it's spinning. Spinning's not quite what we want, but position-wise, it's pretty good. Let's see if we can just knock the top bit, get it flat. That's extending. What happens if I raise... Oh! Oh, it's just because the drill was doing. Perfect. Alright. Flawless. I am starting to think... As much fun as the hovercraft is, and as much sense as it makes on the ice... I feel like it doesn't actually save much power. Because once I get rolling with the wheels, I can generally just kind of keep rolling. And in theory, if I could take those two thrusters and put them onto the hovertrike, it wouldn't need to be, or the skytrike, it wouldn't need to be the skytrike anymore. It could just be a flying vehicle. While that kind of loses some of the fun of it, and it is quite enjoyable to fly around. I mean, I guess in theory I don't have to make them reversing thrust. I could put them in other directions. I could give it more lift maybe, and I don't know if it needs more lift and some cargo. 'Cause yeah, this thing works well, and the ability to hover is fun, but it's just not very useful. All things considered, I think it works just as well being a sort of heavy crane truck thing. I don't know, that may be something to think on. First though, let's get this dug. Now in theory, if I just kind of reverse instead of trying to go forward, I don't have to worry about driving into a trench, because I'm not driving into the trench, I'm creating it after me. Okay, still some room in that. Oh, as long as I don't hit the wrong button. Yeah, because honestly, I could even get rid of or move some wheels, extend, essentially reverse this thing, turn the cab around, and then it's super useful for like what I'm doing right now. And it becomes the sort of utility truck. I just drive it around. So a flatbed, it has the crane still. I don't really think I have much of a need to skim. Though I don't know, because when I drove before, the big issue was on the ice, you lose control. That's kind of what led me to skimming. Maybe I just kind of leave it as is. If I need to do something later, I can build something separate. Because I guess that, I mean, I can use it like this for this close-up work anyway. Okay, drill is now full. I guess it works. I do need to get it charged, though. No, there's enough room back here. Maybe I stick a connector on the back and that'll be easier to try and charge with that instead of the gun arms. Is that... Oh no, that's one of the cargo things. I don't think I've gotten a... It's very quick. I don't think I've gotten a good look at these. I'm having to work to track it. Interesting. Doesn't look... Is that... Yeah. Nope, and now it's gone. I couldn't keep it level enough, but I didn't see any heavy weapons on it. Maybe that's why they move so fast, is that they're unarmed. Oh, actually, I could kind of maybe outfit the Skytrike with just a gun or two. Go up when I see one of those and just kind of scout it out. Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be definitely nice to have some, sort of dedicated parking areas for these things. So it's a bit of a pain having to work around the kind of somewhat dark and hard to see Skytrike. And goes the ice. We'll probably burn through this a lot quicker than I'd like to, but it'll get us some power. Once I get the proper base started, once I get that area drilled out, one of the first things to do will probably be to get power generation set up, because I should be able to, if I do my idea for the front sort of gate, I can stick some wind turbines on that. And it won't give me a ton of power, but it should be enough to kind of keep things working in a pinch. Because that's the big issue right now, is if the batteries go completely dry, I'm kind of stuck. Because I need the power from the battery to turn the ice into hydrogen to run this engine. Fully recharged in an hour. I guess... I don't know if I ever used the disconnect option. I don't think I did once I kind of designed it. Let's discharge that into the other one, though. So I think what I'm going to do is just cut all this stuff off. Actually, I've got an idea. Yeah, that should be clear. So if I pull these back... and see where the ends are. They move far enough down that they're pretty much where I want them. Maybe I put one more piston on just to kind of... Yeah, I think to ensure the length, ensure it'll go all the way in the very back, and because I kind of want it... I don't want it starting quite right here, but my idea here, if I can put a piston basically at a right angle sticking out this way, or maybe two, I can do those back and forth, essentially kind of sweeping out and drilling a area off to one side. And I could do the same over here. And I may, once I do that, maybe I do that on one side. Maybe this side becomes the parking side. I'll kind of drill out an area in there. And it'll be about the same level as this. I'm debating. I know some people, when they've needed to build big areas underground, do a lot of excavation. They've used repurposed warheads to sort of blast away the area. It's not super precise, but it generally, it clears out a lot of area in one go. I may look into using that for the living area. Especially because I want the living area to go fairly deep, so I have room to build storage and all the heavy equipment somewhere where it's kind of out in the way. How long do you have? 10 minutes until it's fully depleted. Guess I could start grinding away some of the other stuff. Well, I do. Because it is easy when doing these drills to leave a drill or two available and ready. Then you can quickly dump all the cargo. Or all the parts. Well, I guess. I mean, these divots aren't quite as intended. But overall, the roof looks pretty good. It's honestly better than the other areas of roof where I had little explosions. I think this method worked pretty well. This sort of up and down arcing drills. Well, that's a close signal. Yeah, I think this worked pretty decently. It wasn't the best in terms of consistency. If I cared about the floor, I wouldn't be too pleased. It was a little bit unnerving looking, but I think it functioned just as it needed to. If I ever do something like this again, I guess I may carry that knowledge with me. Yeah, I can grind this off without severe detriment. And I have access to all of that with relatively minimal jumping. And you know one thing this needs? Headlights. Let's do some of them. Make that red. The radius can come right down. And make a lights group. At some point it may be good to have some area lights too, just to be able to see where I'm landing at night. This should work for now. Okay. Now the headlights do point pretty severely at the ground. What is that? That wheel seemed lower than normal. That is something. Something I could do. Because this is fun as is, with the wheel kind of lowered, and I think it does help for landing and whatnot. I'd have to have a little bit of computing power on this, if I were to put that sort of arm holding the wheel on a rotor, I could angle the wheel a little bit more reasonably, and it might be something I could use for a little bit of extra suspension. I don't know if that's particularly useful. The headlights seem to reach a decent distance, even though they're kind of pointed at the ground, so... yeah, this thing should work fine. I guess it's not really meant to do a ton of driving on the ground anyway. That's what I'm doing now is probably not all that smart of an idea. It's a fun vehicle and I like driving it, so... what do I get? A leopard suit. If I ever get a med bay, I might change into it. Actually, I guess I have silver readily accessible. I probably... ooh, a lot of cash. I probably have enough for a full med bay. I guess I just don't have a place for a full med bay. That should hopefully be changing soon. Yeah, turning's a little dangerous seeming. And I guess this is a good example. With driving, everything bounces around so much. It's fairly easy to lose control. Especially when trying to go at speeds. Alright, it might be time to fix the hole. So yeah, maybe what I was saying earlier. I think leaving the hover barge as a hover thing, part of it's just that I haven't had to go any distance really with it. If I'm going somewhere, you know, like if I wanted to go back to that sort of landing pad structure out there and try and, I don't know, take parts from it, it probably would be handy to be able to hover. And eventually, I guess I want to explore further and see if there's any other signs of life or possibly still life. Yeah, so we'll leave it as is. It's part of the fun tapestry of our adventure anyway, so... Ugh. I guess that's a bad sign when I start referring to myself as plural. Right, up to the top. Get the rest of this. On this beam that I made. It used to be much easier to cross it. Oops. Oh. Right, okay. Those are full of things. Oh god, there's so much stuff. I forgot these tend to fill themselves whenever you're depositing through them. Oh, and I bet the other one's just as full. Is there any other stuff? No, nothing else. Oh, yeah. Oh, like all my ice is in here. You know, how much ice? Yeah, all the ice went into this and was just staying there. That's not handy. Well, I think this next drill machine mechanism is going to be much more simplistic anyway, so all these fancy connectors and whatnots aren't going to be all that important. So let's do... actually, real quick, this is unrelated. Switch those to a second hotbar so I've got room again. Okay. That there. We'll need one of these to do the 90 degree. And then one of these. And then a bunch of steel and interior plate. So, that there. Do one of these just in case I need the different connection points. One of those. And I don't think I'd be able to get another drill in there. Well, that may not be that big of an issue. I can use some of the tunnel area as parking. Kind of this whole back area can be parking. In fact, this trench could be handy for that if I want to put piping and whatnot underground. So it just needs to go in a bit. So one of those should be enough. And then if I put that there and that there just so I can easily hop up and climb it. Yeah, that should all work. So I can move this along right up until it hits the back wall. Then push this in. Oh, now something. Do I want to try and automate this? Let's think through that process. So, because it doesn't have any sort of extra motion, I can have these pistons, however many I need, just moving. Maybe build this, I can find the max distance and just set like this last piston its maximum extension to be there. I can just set them all with their timing to push forward slowly. And then once they get to the end, I could have a separate timer that extends this out and then starts them all moving back again. Yeah. Oh. Except, and that was lovely getting up there to place it. I can't have that there if I'm going to do that because eventually these pistons will be coming back and they would hit that ramp. So I'll have to get up from the area up here like I've been doing. We throw a catwalk up there just to make life easier. That'll be good. Could put something there, but we won't. Okay, let's get this built. With a whole bunch of jumping. And then we'll just kind of extend each piston.
Energy low.
And we start at the back. Let it extend fully. Then we'll see where we are. Probably extend the second one fully. And then we'll do this one just a smidgen at a time. Because I don't want it to slam into the back wall. But I want it to try as best it can to get to this back wall. Which might be slightly odd because the thing is sort of cylindrical. Because of the sweeping cut. It won't be quite a flat line, but... Oh, set it cruising. Actually, a fair bit of room in here for it. How far? Oh, nope. What happens if I send it to 10 meters? It actually almost could go further. But with the radius... Okay, so actually it's 3 pistons is perfect. Groovy. Yeah, so let's get... There are... Computing... I can never see these into there. Where? Ooh. Maybe that's how I do when it gets to the end. Instead of just timing it out, if I have a sensor here set up to detect this wall, I could have the sensor trigger the second timer, which will kind of reverse everything. Because I think I still need 2 timers. Well, not necessarily if I do the first kind of pass manually. Because then, whenever this hits... No, because I need to... Unless I have to start it manually each time, which isn't ideal. Maybe we just do 2 timer blocks and figure out about how long it takes. Because I wouldn't have a convenient way to trigger the sensor on this end and tell it to go back. It's a bit of a hike to get stuff filled in for these now, but... Whoops. Oh, and actually, this might be a little easier, because in theory, I can do this with math. Because I'll know how long in seconds each of these pistons is moving. So, let's start setting some stuff up. Okay, drill extension pistons. Then this incomplete one will be, say, piston drill layers, and hopefully remember what that means, because it'll sort of be pushing in almost like a meat slicer, slicing meat and then pushing in for the next meat slice. Anyway, so I probably want these going fairly slow, so like 0.1 meters per second for all combined. So that would be 0.033. We'll just do a bunch of them and we'll figure it out. Okay. So those are traveling at 1 meter a second, and they each extend 10 meters. So the time it takes is 10 meters. Does that work? That may not work. So that'd be 30 meters? This math stuff's hard. We'll say it's gonna go at 1 meter per second, and it's got to extend 30 meters. And we'll see if that is horribly incorrect. In theory, that'll give us a longer time it'll take, so it should be safe. So, okay, 1 meter per second. It would take, well, 30 seconds to travel 30 meters. So, if we set... That doesn't seem... When in doubt, test it. Okay, well, this is much longer than 45 seconds. I don't understand how that works, but maybe we'll just go with the good old 5 minutes approach. Drills and drills 2. So, I should go somewhere where I can... where the terminal I'm using won't slowly leave me. Okay. So, what I want to do is I want this timer block. It will trigger... So this will be the one that's actually running the timer. Actually, I maybe only need the one. Because all it has to do... Well, and I can't set it up until I build it. But all it has to do is reverse these 3 pistons. And then trigger this piston to extend a little bit. And it just does that on loop. And that should work. Yeah, so I can get rid of the second one. That was the first one, but whatever. Okay. I need that. I need stuff for the ends. Actually, I don't, because I just need steel plate for them. I should be able to set everything up. Whoops. No, I don't. Whoop. That wasn't smart. Okay, anyway. One of those. One of those. That. At that. Okay. Didn't mean to fall off, but everything's now built. We can set this timer block up, so it will reverse those. It will we'll just do that. It will increase maximum distance on that, which I will set down to 0 and set it to do its thing. And then, last but not least, it tells itself to start over. Okay. Now, put 5 minutes on the clock. Turn these drills on. In theory, I can just hit start because these drills could push in a little bit for their first pass. Okay. And trigger. Now, hopefully 5 minutes will be enough time. Hopefully I'll catch it if it isn't. Yeah, that should do what I need it to do. And as that piston pushes in, it should give us a little bit of extra room here off the side. Like I say, not enough probably to fit a vehicle. Well, maybe long ways. But it'll be some room over there. I can have that be where the connectors are for things, so stuff kind of backs in and it's out of the way. And then I'll need to figure out a similar method for this side. How much stuff do you need to build a warhead? Just some iron, some silicon, and some magnesium. Yeah, I could do that. That might be 10 of them. How much magnesium do I have? I don't know. I may have to go 83. I only need 13. We should be good. Well, I suppose we'll end as we began with some drilling. Let this play out, and yeah, next week we'll continue with more drilling, I suppose. Maybe some blasting this time. I'll have to see. Hopefully I don't blast my way back to the surface, because that would be really unfortunate. I think that'll do it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out the other stuff I've done, and until next week, bye bye.